Good day and welcome to today's Sport Rep Show, where we update you on the latest sports news. I'm Jesse Jackson Kauraifa, your host for today. And now for your latest on the hit list. The remaining weeks of the Debmarine Namibia Premier League is expected to dish up a thrilling and nerve-wracking finish to the 2023-24 season. Commerce Nampo FC, African Stars, Ongos FC have been in a three-horse race at the top of the table from the start, all taking turns at the top and still within striking distance. A full 10 points separate them from the rest, with mighty Ghana's Blue Waters, Eshoke Chula Chula and Okahanja United all on 29 points, in positions 4 to 7. Mathematically, all these teams are still in sight of a finish at the summit, provided the three top teams drop points that could lead towards a dramatic twist of fortunes. Analysts express excitement over the fact that it is not only one of the teams running away with the league at this point of the season. Isaac Hamata describes the situation as nerve-wracking for those who are supporting the country's top football clubs. Hamata believes it is a fantastic situation for the neutral fans and football in general. The Old Mutual Development show jumping event at Ours View Stables in Windhoek delivered a thrilling spectacle over the weekend. Riders from various levels showcased their skills in dressage classes starting from the beginner levels up to elementary. The riders performed exceptionally well, demonstrating their growing experience and dedication to the sport. The show jumping event began with a 60cc meter class where the riders were challenged to complete the obstacles course within a specific time limit. As the competition progressed, the difficulty level in the list of winners of the show jumping includes Mira Meyer, level 1 and 2, Domingo Vox, level 1 and 2, Samia Kontau, level 1 and 2, Shelia Hognegwa, that is level 1, Caitlin Lawrence, level 1-2, increase with obstacles reaching up to 1 meter. Maya Brinkman and Forrest Stein both managed to scoop up a bronze medal in their respective categories at the Africa Junior Triathlon Cup event held at Joburg in Zimbabwe last Saturday. The Namibian compatriot Ethan Brinkman, competing in his first official World Series triathlon race, achieved a 4th place after a strong run for 5 kilometers to finish. Annika Visser and Cadence Rebung, both from South Africa, clinched the 1st and 2nd place in the girls' race in 1 hour 14 minutes 57 seconds and 1 hour 17 minutes 59 seconds respectively. Brinkman took the 3rd spot with 1 hour 22 minutes and 11 seconds on the stopwatch. We will now visit the marketplace before we return with your take.
From the day you were born and welcomed until your pensioner years on this earth, your life is filled with changes and phases. What mattered the most at age 10 may be an unknown memory at 25. The heartbreak at 16 may be replaced with wedding bells at 27. The degree you've always wanted or starting your career business may come true at age 30. And the dream to own your own home may come to realization at age 50. Whatever stage you find yourself in, whatever matters right now, Standard Bank has what you need to bank like you. Choose your own path. Choose endless possibilities. Standard Bank, it can be.
A chat with CAF General Coordinator Titus Kunamwene, who speaks about his experience at the just ended Africa Cup of Nations in a different role though. Enjoy the interview and let's hear from the man himself. Sport Rep is joined, that is by Titus Kunamene, one of the guys that was at the CAF Africa Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire, a well-traveled CAF official. Titus, can you just inform us about the role that you served at this particular tournament?
Yeah, first and foremost, let me thank the viewers, and I also want to because we are in a very difficult time this time around, mourning our President, His Excellency Dr. Hage Geingob, his soul rest in peace, and also the entire Namibia nation. Let us mourn peacefully, and let us have a peaceful send-off of our President. So, to come back to the business of the day, I joined the AFCON 2024 as team services. I think most of the people knows my role. They know me as a general coordinator, but this time around I was responsible for team services in the city of Bouaké. So, team services, normally you are responsible to make sure for the number one, the flights, when the teams are traveling, everything, all the logistics of the teams, to make sure that their luggages and everything is in place, and also when they arrive, to make sure that the accommodation, training facilities, and anything that is related to the team, so you need to make sure that it is in place. So that is my role this time around, in short.
All right, quite a country that we all saw, the tournament, the facilities and all. Well, sticking to your role, how difficult or easy would you say it was having to be in charge of this in the city of Bouaké?
Yeah, being a general coordinator, I mean, as a general coordinator, you are responsible for all the aspects of the organizing of the events, and also for me, being this is my 6th AFCON, 4 senior and 2 junior AFCON. So it was not really for me difficult, and it was a matter of adapting to whomever is dealing with. It was a new role, but I didn't really find it difficult, because also when you look at the teams, most of the teams you have dealt with them here and there before, so it was not really difficult for me, even though the role was new. But also the fact that the organizers, I think we need to congratulate the Ivorians. The organizers of the tournament, they have really put everything in place. And for us, it was just a matter of tightening some strings, and then the mechanism was working.
Yes, being in the city of Bouaké, of course, we know it was one of the last strongholds of the former president and all that. But how peaceful did you find it this time around?
Yeah. Bouaké is a very peaceful city, very jolly city. The people there are really peaceful. For them, it's a matter of it's a daily. They do their daily things, but now having football coming to their doorstep, so it was just football. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So it's we had what happened 10 years ago when Didier Drogba and his team visited the city when there was civil war, and I think that was the end of the war. I mean, Bouaké is the second biggest city in Ivory Coast, and For me, it was really peaceful. The people are very helpful, and they were, there is also a lot of other people like the Burkinabes, the Malians that are living in Bouaké. But all these people, you will not differentiate it easily if you don't know them. So all in all, it was really good for me to be in Bouaké.
Yes, you have attended several tournaments, as you stated there. What did you make of the attendance, the quality of the pitches and stadiums in that country?
I think the people of Ivory Coast, when they were planning this tournament, I think they have really planned it properly. I think the politicians, the football people, because I think they have planned for the tournament itself and after the tournament. Because when you look at, for an example, all the training pitches has been in schools, was built in schools. So which means that after the tournament, these schools are having a legacy, they're having a pitch to exercise their sports activity in there. And then you look at the city camps, the places where the teams were staying. It's kind of complexes where after the tournament, these facilities are going to be handed over to the communities of a certain identified communities. So for me, planning wise, this was really the tournament. I think we need to applaud the Ivorians, and we need to learn a lesson from what they have done. Because when you look at some stadiums, depending on the size of the city, they have built a stadium depending on the capacity. When you look at the stadium in San Pedro, the stadium in Yamoussoukro, it's a 20,000 capacity stadium because the population there is less than in Abidjan, where you have a 16,000 seater. So the planning was properly done, and the way how they have executed everything, it was just flow in with the tournament itself. And I strongly believe that all of us, all the Africans, we have a lesson to learn from what Côte d'Ivoire has done.
Wonderful stuff there. I was there myself, and I can also attest to the fact and to the stadiums, the way they looked in terms of the infrastructure and all. Well, we're going into the next AFCON sooner than later. Do we expect Mr. Kunamene to have any role in there, or is it still too early to discuss on that?
For me, we'll sit down and wait. We'll take it day by day. And that's it.
Yes. Well, before we conclude, just going back to this tournament, what could be the highlight of this tournament? Something that you say this just blew you away?
I think for me, it's a matter of the legacy, what this tournament is leaving to the people of Côte d'Ivoire. Because, like I have mentioned earlier, I mean, when you look at this, the training facilities, the city camps, the fan zones that are going to be converted into marketing places, and so on. So I think for me, the highlight of it is the plan, and then how they have executed it before and after the tournament.
How far do you think Namibia is compared to that? We look at the infrastructure of the stadiums and all.
We have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. How much work, I cannot tell you.
Yes, but
the words tell itself.
Yes. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Kunamene. It has been a privilege having you on the show.
Thank you very much, Jason.
That was Titus Kunamene. Let us go for a short break before your take continues. The Namibia Regional Cricket Eagles team will look to bounce back after losing the second match of their tour to Nepal on Monday. Captain Gerard Erasmus faced some media questions after the loss against the Netherlands. Andrew Pullman has prepared this contributed video for us. Enjoy.
Yeah, I think from a little bit of experience from last year, we managed to set one good score of 280, and we did that by forming a foundation at the top. And we, if I remember correctly, we were 2 down for 80, and then a little bit of a collapse, 150 or so for 5, but cashed in a really hard from over 44. So I guess that's one method you can do it. Yeah, I mean, it's a 9:30 start, which has historically and statistically been a big factor over here in Nepal. So you can't shy away from that. You just got to find a method of playing the best game possible. If you're up against the statistics, and yeah, that if life didn't want you to win the toss on a specific day, you still got to play the game of cricket. You can't not go on the field. So you need some sort of process, and you got to really back that process. JJ Smith showed his type of process that he used. He was very calm and then put away certain deliveries, and he managed to score after staying in there for a period of time. So I guess cashing in that back end when it gets a little bit flatter towards the end is probably the best way of doing it. And then yeah, then just squeezing in the field, and hopefully a bit of lowness, a bit of reverse swing, a good spell of spin bowling here and there in the second innings. When it does get a bit flatter, could still win you the game. So yeah, there's going to be a scenario, I think, in this series somewhere where someone gives it a real good push to defend a total on here, and yeah, I think the first team that does that will feel really proud of themselves in doing that. And as a Namibian team, we'd like to be that team that if we get put into bat first, we'd still like to win one of those games on tour. Yeah, again, like I said, from my experience from last year, it's really a tough ground to defend on, and from what we've seen in these couple of games earlier in the afternoon, or from about 12 o'clock or so, then sun bakes the pitch a little bit, I guess. Then it is a ground that is tough to defend on. It's small, the ball flies at altitude, so if you can create a scenario where you can go for a bit of death hitting, I think that's your best chance of batting first and heaping up runs. Yeah, I thought we tried to play the extra batter today. Obviously, just too much damage done in the first 15 or 20 overs to even get to a scenario of going for a little bit of death hitting or so. So no, I think it's in international cricket, it's hardly ever the case anymore where you'd put in a morning watchman of some sort or something like that. I think the guys, you're picked for a certain skill, and you really want to back yourself to be adaptable enough in certain conditions, and to use your experience to get around certain conditions. So I think the guys who are put in their roles to do a certain job need to adapt and need to find a way, and I think that's the right way to do it. You're paid to do a certain job, and I don't think there'll be any hiding, or there'll be any chopping and changing of or any theoretical batting orders coming forth. For us, we just played the extra batter today because we felt it was spin dominant throughout the course of what we've played here. We felt we didn't need another seamer, so yeah, on another day that could work out well for us, the extra batter. No, not really. I've watched Mark Watt bowl, and he's a really canny and good bowler, and I've seen players do it throughout their careers. I reckon one of the first guys I saw was Pollard doing it, so it's always been in the back of my mind that if there are a certain, I guess, variation that you can use and you can bowl it well, then why not? So as I've progressed in my skill in bowling, I've just added that to the locker. Yeah, we'll continue to back the 11 that we think we're going to get to vital World Cricket League points. So that's the guys that we'll go with. Everyone that's in the squad understands that fully, and they're playing for this team and for the country. A very proud bunch of guys that we do have in Namibia, and it's sort of been one of the strengths throughout our last 4 years, is that willingness to buy into a very tight ship, and to buy into a culture that is run very well. And I think JP has been phenomenal in the way he's come back. Yeah, so we'll back all the players that are here. It's just a matter of what type of skill and experience you need on a given day to win those 2 points, and we'll try as a management to put that together and back all the guys that we put out onto the field. Now we saw the way that the Dutch guys came back today after probably a low morale loss the other day, so it's a different, cricketers like that, it's a different day every day. It's lots of talk obviously about the conditions in this series, but things change, we could have bat first wickets by the end of this tournament, who knows. So yeah, there's just a great optimism in this team that the next game could be different. That's sort of a pact that we've made between all of us on tour, that there's 8 opportunities for us to take, and if you're not going to be optimistic about those opportunities out here, then I guess we're playing the game for the wrong reasons. So we'll be evenly energized and excited about the next game against Nepal. Yeah, it'll be great to have 2 out of 2 wins against Nepal in Nepal. That's something that's a massive opportunity for us now going to the next game. Yeah, I guess the teams have tried to use the defensive approach, batting first because they want to set that foundation and try and maybe exploit the latter part of the innings when the pitch does play a little bit better, I guess when the ball's a little bit softer. So that's something that a batter out there needs to adjust accordingly. He needs to make good decisions when he's out on the field, which options he takes, which parts of the ground he takes on. Yeah, I thought this morning when it was slow and turning quite a fair amount, we probably tried to go too hard at some deliveries, including myself. So it's all about using your experience and using your cricket nous out there to battle it out and then find the best way. If that's an attack for certain players, then that's what he needs to go for and stand accountable for. If it's a good defence for other players, which JJ Smith used a little bit of both, a calm defence, but using his levers to hit the ball for 6 every now and again, then that's his way to do it. And I think that's what makes cricket quite special, is that everyone has different ways to do it. You just got to find the best way in that 9:30 start to do your job.
Your life could change at any second, but you'll never know until you take the chance. With sports betting, number games, and online casino gambling, JSB is your best bet. Will you be Namibia's next instant millionaire? Place your bets easily online at jsbsports.bet or at any JSB location nationwide. We'll take you to the action anywhere, anytime. JSB, where the next instant millionaires come to play. Strictly no under 18s. JSB supports responsible gambling. Winners know when to stop.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with men's tennis first on the ATP Tour. It is Yannick Sinner, the Australian Open winner, that's up to number 3 in the world now, in the world rankings. That is after winning the Rotterdam Open. He beat Alex de Minaur from Australia in the final by 7-5 and 6-4. It is still number 1, Novak Djokovic in the world, and number 2 is Carlos Alcaraz. On the women's side, WTA side of the world tennis, it was the final of the Qatar Invitational, and it is Iga Swiatek of Poland, the world number 1. She beat Elena Rybakina, the world number 4, in the final 7-6 and 6-3. Iga Swiatek remained number 1 in the world, and it is also Elena Rybakina that remained number 4 in the world. The Dubai Tennis Championship, that's on the women's WTA, also started. The first rounds that is being played, the round of 64. And some of the results I could mention there. Sloane Stephens of the United States, she beat Clara Burel of France 6-4, 1-6 and 6-2. That is to go through to the round of 32. And then also Leila Fernandez of Canada beating Bernarda Pera of the USA 6-3 and 6-2. Iga Swiatek will be the number 1 seed. She's also the world number 1, and she will next play Sloane Stephens. That is in the round of 32. And then the number 2 seed in the tournament is Aryna Sabalenka. Sabalenka won the Australian Open a few weeks ago. She took a break, and it's her first tournament back since winning the first major of the year. And number 3 seed will be Coco Gauff of the USA. And number 4 seed at the Dubai Tennis Championship will be Elena Rybakina. On to golf news. There was results from the men's PGA and also the women's European Tour. The men's PGA, it is Hideki Matsuyama of Japan that won the Genesis Invitational. He was 6 shots behind the leader going into the 4th round, but he played a brilliant 9 under par 62 in his 4th round to win the tournament on 17 under par. Southern African interest there, it is Christian Besaidnout. He ended tied for 24th on 5 under par. Judged for several hours on the 9th of February. That is part of the investigation, but it has not been concluded yet. So Formula One urged Red Bull to resolve the issue. It is Red Bull that will do testing. That is also at Bahrain from the 21st to the 23rd of February. And again, the 2 racing drivers for Red Bull will again be Max Verstappen, the champion of 2023, and his teammate this year will again be Sergio Perez. The first race starts on the 2nd of March in Bahrain. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.